Hola clase. So this is our last grammar topic of this chapter. Este es nuestro último tema gramatical de este capítulo. Yay! So we're gonna continue with chapter 12 after this. We are gonna see reciprocal reflexives. We're gonna review first what is a reflexive verb. It's a verb that indicates that the subject of a sentence does the action to or for itself. So, in other words, the subject of the sentence is performing the action and receiving the action. Can you think of examples of verbs that do the action to themselves in Spanish? Yeah, here I have some examples like lavarse, bañarse, levantarse, dormirse, despertarse, cepillarse. So as you can see, these are the verbs in the infinitive and all of them have the ending se, which is the reflexive ending in the infinitive form. So reflexive verbs in the infinitive have the reflexive ending attached, right? When conjugated, reflexive verbs use reflexive pronouns. So for all the persons, the yo form, tú form, nosotros form, vosotros form, ellos, ellas form, they are reflexive pronouns. So for the yo form, me lavo las manos frecuentemente. I wash my hands frequently. Me lavo comes from the verb lavarse. Tú form, te bañas 2 veces por semana. You shower 2 times a week. So in Spanish, bañarse, to shower yourself, it has a reflexive ending. Usted, él, ella form se levanta temprano los fines de semana. He, she, or they wake up early during the weekends. So when you wake yourself up, levantarse, that's the reflexive pronoun. So the next form is the nosotros form. Los domingos nos dormimos temprano. On Sundays, we fall asleep early, right? So, nos dormimos, dormirse, to fall asleep. So, when you fall asleep, that's something that happens to yourself. Vosotros form, os despertáis tarde los sábados. You, plural, wake up late Saturdays, so os despertáis. That's the vosotros form. Usted, ellos, ellas se cepillan los dientes todos los días. So, ustedes, the you, plural, ellos, ellas, they form, se cepillan, cepillarse, when you brush yourself, their teeth or your hair. In this case, se cepillan los dientes todos los días is they brush their teeth every day. So, back to our topic for today. What are the reciprocal reflexives? It's a verb that expresses a reciprocal action between two or more people or things. So, in other words, it means the action of the verb is done by the subjects to each other. Can you think of examples of verbs in which the action could be performed to each other? I have here some examples. Abrazarse, to hug each other. Saludarse, to greet each other. Conocerse, to meet each other. Quererse, to love each other. Subject is performing the actions to each other. So if the subject is performing the actions to each other, the subject it involves more than one person. So only the plural forms are used to express reciprocal actions. In other words, the subject must involve more than one people. So you just use the plural subject and the plural forms of the pronouns. So for examples, nosotros form, cuando me fui nos abrazamos. We hug each other when I left. Vosotros form, os conocisteis en la escuela primaria, ¿verdad? You met each other in primary school, right? So then we have the ustedes form, se conocieron en la escuela primaria, ¿verdad? You met each other in primary school. I'm just gonna make here a comment. Vosotros y ustedes both refer to the second person plural, so the you plural, but vosotros is only used in some parts of Spain, the central and the northern region in Spain, and ustedes form is used by most of the Spanish speakers, so we use it in Latin America, but also in the south of Spain and the islands. The ustedes form is more common. Then we have ellos, ellas form, mis abuelos se quieren mucho, my grandparents love each other. Now we have a practice. You have to describe what are they doing to each other. Use reciprocal reflexive to describe their actions according to the given subject. So I'm giving you the subject in each picture. For example, the first one, los perros. What are they doing to each other? Las personas. What are they doing to each other? Mi amigo y yo. What are we doing to each other? So you have to complete these forms. And we have the answers. Los perros se abrazan. Se abrazan. Ellos se abrazan. Las personas se besan. Ellas se besan. Mi amigo y yo nos saludamos, nos damos la mano. Reciprocal reflexives are used just in the plural forms, the plural subjects, because the ones performing the action must be more than one person, and the use of reciprocal reflexives indicate that the action is performed to each other. See the differences in the following sentences. For example, the first one, abrazo a mi abuela. That's not reciprocal. You're not using the reciprocal form of the verb. You're saying, I hug my grandmother. But then, if you change the sentence and you say, mi abuela y yo nos abrazamos. My grandma and I hug each other. So, abrazarse. Then you have the reciprocal reflexive form. Conocí a Alberto en la escuela primaria. I met Alberto in primary school. So that's not reflexive. I is the subject. I met, and the object would be Alberto en la escuela primaria, in primary school. But then if you have Alberto y yo nos conocimos en la escuela primaria. Alberto and I met each other in primary school. So you can see here that you have a reciprocal reflexive form. We met each other. Nos conocimos. Conocerse. So here we have some examples of other reciprocal reflexive verbs. You can go through this list and see what this means. So we have saludarse, to greet each other, conocerse, to meet each other when it's referring for the first time, entenderse, to understand each other, escucharse, to listen to each other, escribirse, to write to each other, verse, to see each other, llamarse, to call each other, besarse, to kiss each other, darse, to give each other, llevarse bien, mal, to get along good or bad with each other.